Hello, beloved. This is Belinda Pearl, and welcome to the Soul Story Series, lesson number 2, self-judgment. How can we quell that inner critic? So, if you think about it, maybe on a daily basis, you have some thoughts in your mind that aren't very sweet. It's that forever nag that tells you that you're doing things not the right way, or maybe using even more harsher words, that inner critic that likes to just nag in your ear, that yada yada that keeps on going. Can we, one, quell that inner critic, that inner voice that is not so sweet? And how can we bring healing to those states that where that inner critic came from? So this is the Soul Story series with Belinda Pearl, and each week we'll bring to you a lesson to help you unveil, to truly see your soul story. So you think about the inner critic. Just take a moment, maybe close your eyes and listen inside, asking, where or what is that voice? Maybe there are words that you like to hear, or I would say like to hear, that the inner critic likes to say. And it's almost like it'll like racking over the knuckles type of experience where you've heard this before, maybe back in life, this lifetime, past lifetime possibly, where you weren't good enough. And so now this inner rhetoric keeps recycling through your brain, and so it keeps you in a space and in a place. Sometimes we feel we're stuck in a rut or depressed because we have these emotions, this inner voice, these feelings that tell us that we're not good enough, and then it makes us feel depressed because we feel not good enough, literally in the cellular body. So finding practices to help us let go of the inner critic is valuable. It's going to not only shift our mind space, it will make us feel better, but our physical form too, our bodies at that cellular level will start to respond to the happier voice. You can do a project at home where you can take 2 plants, and with the one plant, you can just even in your mind, just tell it how bad it's growing. And the other plant, you look at it, even in your mind, you can just say, look how wonderfully you are. Look at the fruits and the flowers and your petals. They're so green or pink or orange or whatever, and see how that flower grows. You may be, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think that you will see possibly that maybe the plant that you're not so sweet to is going to have maybe be stunted in its growth. Maybe it won't be so luscious. Maybe the colors won't be so vibrant. Maybe it needs that extra care because you've been literally nagging at it and telling it that it's not good enough or it doesn't look great. So, and then switch it up. See if you can start to speak nicely to the plant, because we definitely want that plant to grow wondrous and wonderfully in the world. And you are like that plant too. So that inner voice, how can we quell it and bring it to stillness and silence? This is the big question. Meditation is basically medication. So if you want to heal yourself, if you want to reveal your true inner story, to listen with them, we've got to quieten that inner mind, that inner rhetoric. And the mind's not a bad thing. The mind itself is actually a servant to us, but in the space that we hold, most people, I'd say on a daily basis or just in the general population or collective, the mind is more of our master, and it is when it's telling us we're not good enough, we literally respond to that. So how can we help ourselves move forward, become more clear with ourselves, and as well clear through our energetic body and our physical body by letting go of these dark, heavy thoughts, because it creates density in our cells, which allows then dis-ease to come in. Emotions need to keep flowing out of us. It's energy in motion. So when we feel something, let it kind of spiral out of you. This is an invitation to feel that spiraling out of you. And in all of this healing, that's where we start to uncover and see our true soul story. So self-judgment, how can we quell that in a critic? So let us place our hands in front of our heart. I love this mudra, Hankini mudra. To me, it really represents all parts of our being, which is the elements, the tips of the fingers, as well as it brings the left and right hemispheres of the brain together. So it helps us find like an inner equilibrium. Let your elbows rest by the sides of the body. Roll your shoulders up and back and sit up nice and tall. Bow the chin lightly into your chest. Close your eyes if you can. Take a few more deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just blow it out like you're blowing out a candle. And with you, as you blow out, every breath is dark particles that no longer serve you. So anything that's dusty, old unforgivenesses, let them blow out. All those self-judgments, all those fears, just blow them all out. Let your elbows rest down. Let the tips of the fingers touch gently to one another like a butterfly that lands on a petal. Listening to your inner breath, your inner space that you're creating. The sound of your breath. Allow the breath to fill you up. So just for this instance of quelling that inner voice, we're going to choose a self-judgment, a judgment that comes up for you probably on a daily basis. Maybe it is, I'm not good enough. That's how you look at yourself in the mirror. So with your eyes closed and in this space, I want you to see that self-judgment. Where does it come from? What time, space, this lifetime you see yourself maybe as a child where somebody said something to you and it stuck in your head and that voice repeated itself as you grew up. Maybe it's very loud, maybe it's been quelled for a bit and then it comes up every now and again. So choose one. Give it, see what shape it has, see what color it has, its density. Is it dense? Is it light? Is it soft? Is it hard? Does it have texture to it? Is it smooth? Is it moving? Does it vibrate? Does it spiral? Does it jiggle? What does it do? Where do you find it in your body? Where does that self-judgment reside? Can you see all the pictures that you can remember that are related to it? Or even the image that you see yourself, maybe in any time and space where you said it out aloud to yourself even. Maybe you've even said it out aloud in front of other people. And how does your body respond to that feeling? So give it the shape, the color, the density. Is it heavy? Is it light? Does it move, jiggle? See it. And in order to help us move through this space, let us call in all our guides and teachers and loved ones, all the elementals, the angels, whatever you like to call in that is of the highest light, to move into the space to be here with you, to assist you. Feel their presences, feel their lovingness. And before you, one of your guides motions to you just outside of your auric space. You're going to see a beautiful flower. Maybe it's a rose. Any flower, actually. Whatever color comes to you. And that rose and flower is wide open. You see each petal curled away from each other. The center of the rose flower is wide open. And asking your guides, your teachers, your loved ones, your angels to help you to move that self-judgment from your physical form into that flower. And they motion to you and they help you and they assist you in moving that energetic, that self-judgment into the flower. And you feel the presence of all your guides and teachers and loved ones standing all around you. And watch how that rose, that flower closes, each petal closing. And around that rose, that flower, a beautiful golden orb forms. And as that golden orb forms around that flower, that rose, you just simply see that whole rose, that flower, dissolve, dissipate. into that golden orb, that glowing light. And just sit with that for a moment, that feeling of that self-judgment, that inner critic, dissolving now, completely and fully, being transmuted through the light back into love, back into the world. And feel how that space that you used to hold, all that golden light that's in the universe, is coming to that place, maybe in your heart, your shoulder, your arm, your foot, your mind, where you once think that there was a void. And that golden light move into that place, bringing all healing. Simply sit with that space, holding that space. How does that feel? Let's bring our hands together. In yoga we call this Anjali Mudra or prayer mudra. Let the thumbs rest to your sternum. Gently bow your chin to your chest. Breathe in and just blow out through the mouth. Sitting in great gratitude for yourself, which is creating this space within inside of you to clear the plate so that you may see what's before you, your soul story being unveiled. And give gratitude to the space, this courage that it takes to really look within yourself so that we can reveal that next step in our story. Now you can take a few more self-judgments if you have any, and do the same exercise again and again. And always find yourself surrounded, nourished, and supported by all your guides. And let's give gratitude to all your guides and teachers and loved ones and angels. And see and feel how they bow into you. They're always forever present in your life. And so, from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. And if you would like to find a new series for this Soul Story series, check back in next week. And if you're on my Patreon site, I hope to see you for another Soul Story series soon, next week, Friday. And I shall all see you soon. Again, this is Belinda Pearl at belindapearl.com. Namaste. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you find this on YouTube.